Administration.
Mr. President, so on Truth Social, you said that you were going to cut aid from South Africa. Will you plan to cut aid across other African nations, and why South Africa?
No, it's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa.
And if you are sitting there, you are telling me that it's all for South Africans. You know, Trump can't. No, ma'am. If you are that naive. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about Mr. Trump and also Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa and also South Africa versus America. Okay, now it's very, very clear now from me. If you ask me, there was an interview that I was watching, which was a heated interview. It was heated because it was, I'm sorry for using this thing of a color, but it was a white guy and against a white guy. I will play that video in my next video. You better stay tuned because that is going to be, it's going to blow your mind. Okay, I was not expecting that actually. Anyway, let's get into the video, guys. Let's talk about Mr. Trump and also talk about Mr. President of South Africa. That will be Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, Mr. Trump, actually, he was asked a question about South Africa, whether the fund that he actually withdrawn or freezed, it was only for South Africa or it was for all African countries. Well, the answer was very surprising and it made me to be suspicious. This is the answer.
Administration.
Mr. President, you said, so on Truth Social, you said that you were going to cut aid from South Africa. Will you plan to cut aid across other African nations, and why South Africa?
No, it's only South Africa. Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
After he said that, actually, after he just said that, I don't know how many hours, how many minutes, whatever it is, all right, because one of the things that Mr. Trump said, he said that the leadership of South Africa is messing up, it's a bad leadership, whatever, things like that, okay? And then he actually said that they want to confiscate the land and all of that and whatever. All right, and then Mr. Ramaphosa answers the question. Obviously, he was not, I don't know if he was speaking or whatever, but I heard that he actually answered the question. And the way he answered the question, it was very simple from Cyril Ramaphosa. He was saying to Mr. Trump, listen, Mr. Trump, the Expropriation Act, it is not we are not confiscating any land, okay? But then he continued and said, well, we are looking forward to be talking to or to talk to the Americans or to the American officials or anything like that. Okay? It is very important, ladies and gentlemen, that every time it does, like, I don't even want to pretend with you guys and just pretend and say things that are going to brush your feelings. No. Okay? Whether you love Trump, whether you hate Trump, whether you don't like him, whether you whatever, okay? Whether you do whatever. And if you love Trump so much that you can't even take any negative criticism, then you have a problem. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to say it. It doesn't even matter whether Trump is endorsed by God. Trump is what. I'm a Christian. I love God so much. I love Christ so much. But it must not blindfold you if a person is doing something just to favor a certain part of the population of that country. I am under the impression, I am very sorry, from what I have heard what Trump said, okay? I am under the impression that actually this is not for all South Africans, okay? He did all of these things for a certain majority for a certain minority in the country. It is not for everyone. Because what he says there on the video, he says that the leadership of South Africa, they are doing bad things, they are doing a lot of things that are bad. And then he mentions the fact that they want to confiscate the land. Why don't you mention a lot of things? Okay, why don't you mention at least 3 things that you think they are doing bad, and then you will just mention one thing about the land? We all know, as actually Mrs. Nomvula Mukonyane said it, okay? And I think it is a fact, it is out there, that America, they feed on pharmaceutical, what is it called? Okay, let Ms. Nomvula Mukonyane say it.
Against Americans themselves, they thrive on the pharmaceutical industry, amongst others. So
there you go. Now, I don't want to lie, guys, okay? I respect Trump. I respect the way he does his leadership. I respect whatever. But I think when it comes to South Africa, we all know what is their interest. Okay? Now, you freeze only South African country. Are you telling me that the whole African countries, they are all okay? They are all okay. They are all okay. Their leadership, it's okay. It's awesome. Okay? No, Mr. President. I think you were interested because of the Expropriation Act. That is why you mentioned only the Expropriation Act. Okay? And I am definitely sure that perhaps, okay, I'm not sure, but perhaps just maybe you spoke to one of these guys who are in South Africa, who are benefiting from farming and stuff like that. They called your office or your ambassador, they cried on you, and then you came and then you did what you did. You know? You cannot tell me, guys, that the guy in the whole Africa, you can just pick one country and be like, okay, I'm going to take out the fund. I'm going to freeze the fund, the fund, okay? And then the reason is, no, because of the leadership of South Africa, it is doing bad things. Listen, we all accept that South Africa is doing bad things and our leadership is just messing up. Our leadership is not bold enough. Our leadership is just, I don't know what to call it now. It is making our country to be a losing country, a defeated country, a impossible country, okay? But it doesn't mean that we don't see when you are trying to do things and you are trying to benefit a certain people in that country. This is not for all South Africans. I don't even want to lie to you guys. It is not for South Africans. And there are those who are happy now because he even mentions the thing of the land, this thing of the land. And if you are sitting there, you are telling me that, it's all for South Africans. You know, Trump, no, ma'am. If you are that naive, and because you love him so much, you don't see what you are supposed to be seeing. That is why maybe you get deceived sometimes easily. Because of you just take what people say at face value. When a person says something, you just take. You don't check. You don't do anything. Okay? I really don't know, guys, what is going on, you know? And I sense that somehow there's going to be some bad things that are going to happen here. Because the way I'm looking at South Africa and Mr. Ramaphosa, I don't know, but I'm seeing a different Ramaphosa, guys. I'm very sorry, but I'm seeing a different Ramaphosa. It seems like there is somewhere where I think is pushing back, and I think it might create some problems, especially from other countries, you know? He's entering into territories that I don't know whether he's supposed to be entering there, but he's just touching things, you know, and everything. Like, I really don't know, guys. Anyway, I don't know, guys, what do you think about this? This is so interesting, man, you know. But I'm just hoping that it doesn't create a problem between us and Americans, okay? But they must never think that we want to depend on them totally. Okay, yes, we want to be in relations with them, want to work with them, we want to be, you know, but they must not like use these things now against us and now making us to fear, making our people to fear and whatever. I did say, guys, that if South Africa is smart enough, the leadership of South Africa is smart enough, they must make a plan, they must come up with an idea, they must come up with a way of coming up with some money to replace that fund that actually they are using against us. They must just come up with a plan. Otherwise, we will live like this forever. Every time when Ramaphosa or the government, whoever who will be in the government, whatever, anytime they do anything that actually touches them or touches their investment or their people in America, if it touches some people that are here, okay, that maybe they whatever, okay, it's gonna be a problem, and it's going to be a more problem if it happens that MK party or the caucus parties and everything, they win elections, the next elections, because we all know what is going to happen. Zuma is going to change a lot of things, and it might even affect, you know, certain things in terms of the world politics. You know, I don't know, guys. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, there is also another story. Let me just sneak in the story that I saw online about Ibrahim Traore, this guy over here. He created and made, not him, but obviously his country, created and made an electric car that was made in Burkina Faso. What more do you want? That guy is changing his country. He's making his country to be the main place. People will be running there, and I'm sure it's going to be very strict. You can't just run there and just get in and just, you know, it's going to be very strict. We all know what it did. Anyway, I don't know, guys, what do you think? Hey, the world politics is very interesting, hey? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that. And yeah, I think I'm out.